Hey guys, what's going on? It's Steven. It's Wednesday at 12:15, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of PLANEZ. First of all, thanks a lot for checking out the videos. If you do like the video, please leave a comment down below, or give me a follow or a like, or feel free to repost the videos on social media. That's my commercial for this episode. Okay, today we're going to talk about the McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle. The F-15 is one of my favorite airplanes. It's been one of my favorites, since I was a little kid. It sort of came into service in my lifetime, which is really exciting. I think a lot of you probably feel the same way, especially because we remember watching the F-15 in action during Desert Storm and all that fun stuff. So in order to really understand the F-15 Eagle, we have to kind of go back in history and into the sort of the Korean War and the Cold War. So basically at that time, the F-86 Sabre was flying in the Korean War, and it had a kill ratio of 10-1. Now there was a lot of dogfighting that was occurring in the Korean War, so we really had a dominance at that time in the skies. So the F-86 Sabre was eventually replaced by the F-4 Phantom, which was really a missile plane designed for shooting missiles and things like that to take out nuclear bombers and things like that. But really, it wasn't a highly maneuverable dogfighting plane. So unfortunately, when Vietnam came around, the F-4 Phantoms were flying against Russian MiGs in Vietnam, piloted by Viet Congs. Now, we were getting smoked. Basically, our kill ratio went way down. Even the radar-guided missiles that we were using had a 16% accuracy, and the pilots themselves had very little dogfighting training. So basically, we were, sitting ducks in the sky. Now, we let's see. Also, the plane had very poor visibility, so because the pilots were supposed to be looking down the whole time, focusing on shooting missiles. The plane itself didn't even have guns, so there was really no way that it could defend itself in the air. Over 300 of these airplanes were shot down around the time of Vietnam. Now, to add insult to injury, the Soviets created the MiG-25, the next generation MiG, which was really gave them a significant advantage in the air that it's totally made America not that strong in terms of their flying. So this is the world that existed at the birth of the F-15 project, or the X project. The X fighter is what it was called at the time. So basically, the United States government brought in somebody named Major John Boyd, also known as the Mad Major, to completely scrap everything and start over and create a completely new next generation aircraft. Now, Major John Boyd was a really interesting character. He was sort of a crazy guy, and he really pissed off a lot of people in the government. I highly encourage you to Google Major John Boyd or look at his Wikipedia page. There's a lot of really cool information about him. A true American hero. So anyway, John Boyd used new computers to create the body of the F-15. Now, in June 26, 1972, after many years and man-hours of creation, the first F-15 was rolled out. And it was on the 27th, the next day, that it first took flight. And instantly, this plane was dazzling people all over the place. It had a climb rate that was exceptional. It could climb to 30,000 feet, pretty much the height of Mount Everest, in just over 60 seconds. Some of the things about this airplane that were firsts and that were totally revolutionary, the HUD and the HOTAS. The HUD, of course, is the heads-up display, which keeps pilots looking up so they can see all the information that they need, like Mach speeds and air speeds and sort of weapons targeting and all that stuff, by looking up and in front of them, as opposed to looking down with poor visibility. Also, HOTAS, the hands-on throttle and stick, basically it was a whole different way of firing weapons and controlling the airplane. So the pilot was really strapping this airplane on and becoming one with them, and that was sort of revolutionary and new at the time. Also, the F-15 had new radar-guided missiles and new radar systems that really revolutionized the way combat and warfare takes place in jet airplanes. And it had a gun, so dogfighting was possible. Now, one of my favorite stories about the F-15 concerns a pilot named Zvi Nadavi, who was an Israeli pilot doing a training mission, and during the training mission had an air collision where he was hit. He lost control of his airplane. He finally regained control of the airplane, and when he landed, he looked back and realized that the aircraft was missing a wing. So the F-15 was such a durable aircraft that it could fly on one wing. You know, with so much of its flight surface gone, it still managed to have a safe landing. And it's really interesting. Zvi Nadavi actually says if he had seen that there was no wing, he probably would have ejected. But thank God he didn't see it, because they were able to save the airplane and have one of the greatest stories in the history of aviation. So let's see, a couple of things. There are 2 engines on the F-15. There are 2 tail things on the back. The wings don't move like the F-14, but it is a big airplane like the F-14. It's much bigger than the F-18 and the F-16 and the F-22 and the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. So let's see, there's the F-15C that was created, which is mainly for air-to-air combat, and the F-15E, which is used for strikes on the ground, more like a bomber. This airplane was used in both the first Gulf War and then after 9/11 in Afghanistan and in Iraq. So let's see, mainly to take out Scud missile sites. And yeah, let's see what else. For me, whenever I go to air shows, I'm always excited to see the F-15, mainly because of the way it can climb vertically and take off pretty much vertically and just shoot straight up in the air like a rocket ship. The power on this airplane is just truly incredible. Truly incredible. That's it for the F-15. Next week, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about the F-16 Falcon, because there was some news last week about an F-16 pilot who was escorted to non-ISIS controlled territory by a refueling airplane. There was a problem with the refueling, so I thought it would be relevant for us to talk about the F-16 next week. And that's it. Thanks a lot so much, guys, for listening. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to hear you all or talk to you all soon. Again, give me a follow. Hit me up on social media, Jets and Airplanes. And that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys have a great night. Pilots out.